Have you ever watched the movie Cat Intelligence Agency Movie 4 by Achieve? Well, if you haven't, it's basically the fourth movie in the franchise of the CIA Cat Intelligence Agency. And today, we're going to look at the filming locations that were shot in Brookhaven, what has changed and what has stayed the same. Let's see for ourselves. The first location is the pizzeria scene. Basically, in this scene, Strong Cat and Banker try to get gadgets. Let's see where it's filmed at. It's a pretty famous place in Brookhaven. It is located in the Brookhaven Mall area, as shown in the movie itself. The actual pizzeria is called Moe's Pizza, as like I said is shown in the movie itself. Sadly, the back is employees only, and the back is where they got their gadgets, but you can still kind of see through it through the doors. And the next location is
New students, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, everyone,
the Brookhaven School, which still stays as a school to this day. Not much has changed about it. The same colors are still there, and the Doge is still the mascot, like it was shown in the movie. So let's look at some of the inside locations. First, we'll show you the classroom where Banker and Achieve, aka Captain Strongcat, introduced themselves. Not a lot has changed about it besides the font on the board, as it is different in the movie. But overall, the class hasn't really changed. The seats are pretty much the same. Next, we'll show you the lunchroom where they were introduced to Star Muds and wanted to be attractive kids. Just like the classroom, it still remains the same. Next one is outside the school, and it's the sidewalk where they go to Star Muds at. And not a lot of it has changed either. Still has the same exact way it looked in the movie, besides one building that was in the background. In newer times, the building is a car dealership with a Mexican restaurant attached to it. However, in the movie time when it was filmed, it was a Brookhaven shelter, and just that, it wrapped around the whole top. You can still tell it's the Brookhaven shelter with the window and the same color, besides the car dealership colors. However, there is a thing that's covering the window, which looks weird. And the next building is
Star Muds? What is this place?
Star Muds is the interesting one by far, because unlike the other buildings, it's in a neighborhood, which means it can change in any server at any time, but we're going to go with what this server had to offer. Not just Star Muds, we're going to be injecting the whole neighborhood as well. Right next to Star Muds, there's a trailer house, and right in front of the trailer house, there's a modern house. The trailer house is gone, while the modern house is replaced with a more neighborhood house, and this is what Star Muds looks like now. It is no longer a restaurant type of place, and is now a more modernized house with stairs to go up. I was completely trespassing on this guy's plot, but I didn't really care, it was for the video. Of course I wouldn't do this in real life though. And the next one is
This message.
an undercover agent. Their identity is classified. Only one person in the world knows who the agent is.
Who?
the CIA base. Well, this one was also tricky because like Star Muds, it's in a neighborhood, which means it could change at any time. So we're just going to look at what the server has to offer. I didn't know what neighborhood it was in first until I looked at some of the details in the background. Right in front of the CIA base is House 15. So I went into the neighborhood where it was filmed in, and I already saw Banker's house has been changed from green to like a family home, from like a whitish color to a normal home. And for the CIA base, unlike Star Muds, it turned into a more mundane house than a modernized house. A family was living there, and they didn't seem to be in such a talking mood. So yeah, that's what changed. Anyways, the next location is
Jake? What are you doing here?
Are you bringing more people to buy mud?
The mud dealer's base. So I went over to where the place was filmed, and it was also filmed in the same area where Star Muds was filmed. It was just right above the neighborhood where it was in. So I went over, and when I went inside the tunnel and saw it, it had immediately shrank. Like it had shrank and turned into a more modernized home than it was before. It turned into a more mundane home than it did, and actually someone was living there and they were home. But before I asked them to go in, I was in the spot where Eve, aka Captain Strongcat, and Jake and Banker and other mud dealers were there. And then I asked the current owner if he knew about the CIA movies, and he said no. So I told him that his plot was involved in the making, and he said he felt alright about that. He then let me in, and look how some of the inside has changed. It turned into more of a mundane home than more a base. The inside has changed completely. There's now more of a bedroom upstairs. The couches, living room are in a different area, and I'm guessing the original was removed since it was a different server. The living room was different, and sadly, there's no chute to slide down on when the CIA came. And that's it. If you want to see a part 2 with the most recent part, comment down below.